So your group will represent a Chinese emperor who hopes to build a dynasty that will last. That is your goal. You will receive an event deck, a game board, and a bunch of counters. That's going to help you keep track of everything. And I do want to note, this is a Chinese student had been at Lander University, Annie. She's the one that did the calligraphy on those counters. I don't want you to think that I did it, because that is not something I can do. She is very good, me not so much. But she was the one who helped with that. So you will start with 4 awe counters in the awe pool, 4 fear counters in the fear pool, and 1 fate counter in the fate pool. So awe represents how impressed people are by your virtue. Good people are more likely to follow people who inspire them with awe. The more counters you have here, the more people respect you. The fear pool, fear represents how much you terrify people. Bad people will not respect virtue, but they do respect power and are more likely to listen to people who frighten them. The more counters you have here, the more people fear you. So right now you're even. You have an equal amount of awe and fear. Each turn I'll ask a question. If you answer it correctly, you gain a fate counter, which can be used to change a failure on a dice roll into a success. So here's your first question. Which of the following statements best describes who Confucius was? A general who seized the throne and became emperor. B, a government official who seized the throne and became emperor. C, a general who became a wandering teacher. Or D, a government official who became a wandering teacher. Right, so what do y'all think?
D.
You are correct. Give yourself a fate counter. It goes in your fate pool. Okay, so now please add a labor counter to the labor pool and a resources counter to the resource pool. This step is important, though sometimes it might not seem like it, but it is important that we do that before you actually assign things there. All right, so now please draw a card and follow its instructions.
People have 1 mouth but 2 hands. Your good rule leads to population growth. Add 1 labor counter.
Awesome. And that's why you do that, because sometimes you get extra. All right, so now you can move your labor and resource counters to a building you want to complete. After you completely fill in the building boxes, you complete the building, and you can, sometimes your instructor will give you a card if they want to do that. If the instructor doesn't want to have as many cards, you would just give yourself the bonuses that are there, right? So if you fill the Great Wall, you would add 2 fear counters. Once you complete a building, though, go ahead and keep the counters there. That helps you just remember, okay, we've done this one. You can't complete a building twice. You only do it once. And then, of course, once you complete a building, add those awe and fear counters. So if you were to build the Great Wall, you would get 2 fear counters. So go ahead and make your choice, what you want to start working on.
Because it's the
I was thinking the
happy
same thing.
medium.
Okay, excellent, excellent. That's what people usually do, but my last class, everyone was doing Great Wall. And I don't know if I used it as the example, or if they heard of it, or just they wanted to be scary. Okay, so here's your first event. 2 teachers approach you for looking for a job, and we were just talking about teaching jobs, so how appropriate.
Yes.
Both are excellent, but you can only hire one. One is Confucian, and the other is a legalist. Discuss with your group which one you will hire.
Any preference?
I like Confucian.
You like the Confucian?
Yeah.
So we're going with
Let's go
Confucius?
Confucian.
Okay.
Is that how you were feeling too?
Yeah.
If you hired the Confucian, add 1 awe counter to your awe pool. If you hired the legalist, add 1 fear counter to your fear pool. So important, there's not a negative impact, it's just, there's not a right answer, it's just that's the direction that you're going in. So you went with the guy who wants to rule through music. Very good. Okay. Which of the following statements about Han Fei is false? A, he rejected Confucian morality and thought people were basically bad. He believed a strong state was needed for peace and unity. He taught that as all men would be tyrants if they could, it was necessary to have 2 kings rather than 1. Or he believed that clear laws backed up with rewards and punishments were important. This is a tricky one. Not as famous as Confucius.
I have no idea. What's your gut telling you?
I like the answer C, but I don't think that's correct. I think it might be A.
A was what was calling me.
Okay.
That's where my gut was.
Okay, and just to be clear, this is a false statement. We're looking
Oh,
for.
false.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay, then probably it's C then.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. Chinese political theory does not like two kings or emperors. Does anyone remember who had two kings in war history?
No.
Give you a hint. Think Greece. What city-state Greece had two kings? Sparta.
Oh, really?
Because that way they couldn't, like, one could stop the other from becoming a tyrant. I think
Poor
the,
Athens guy.
the Romans did the same thing, right, with the consuls, like they'd have two.
Mhm.
Okay, so add a labor and a resource counter to your pool.
I got a simple for our last question.
All right, and then draw a card and follow its instructions.
An indolent monarch. You prefer, whoa. You party too much and look bad in front of your officials. Remove one fear counter.
Man.
So, problem. All right, so sometimes you'll roll dice to see how well things go, and then you'll count the number of successes. A success is a 4, 5, or 6, while failure is a 1, 2, or 3. So, for example, if you were to roll 5 dice, 1 and 3 would go in the failure column of that, and then 3 5s in the success one. You can spend a fate counter to change a failure into a success, and this can be done after I announce the results of what would happen. One thing I want to stress, though, you can't, it's not adding successes, it's changing. So you can't have more successes than you have dice. That kind of puts a cap on it. And you can spend more than one fate count. As long as you've got fate counters and failures, you can change them into successes. All right, prayers to heaven are first event. There's a drought, as the emperor must fast and pray to heaven, right? Like, hopefully you can move heaven with your sincerity. Maybe you did something bad, like the indolent monarch,
True.
and that's I'm sure that's what's happening. You need to fix that. So to see how good you do this, you need to make an awe check. So you roll a number of dice equal to your awe counters.
Just a note, we are out of labor counters.
Oh goodness.
Oh, there might be a secret one.
Is there no? Did I grabbed the wrong box? So while you do that, I'll run it out. All right. So you've got your results. So let me give you what happens with those results, and you can spend a fate counter if you want to change a failure to a success. So you rolled your d6 for each awe counter. You did all that. So if you had at least 4 successes, it begins to rain immediately after you pray. Add 1 awe counter to your awe pool. If you had 3 successes, it begins to rain shortly after you pray. You would add 1 fate. And one rule thing, you can't use that fate to do another one and then say, oh, now I've got 4 successes, right? You can't do that. I know someone's going to try and do that at some point. So, I always have people trying to break my games, which they're fairly simple, so it's not too hard. If you had 2 successes, it eventually begins to rain. Nothing changes. If you have 1 or no successes, it does not rain for a very long time, and many people suffer. You're criticized for your lack of virtue. Remove 1 awe counter from your awe pool. So you have a choice. Do you want to spend fate counters or just say meh?
I think we have enough fate and we're not going to lose
That's
any.
what I was thinking
So-
too. So
I'd like to save that for if we really mess
really,
it up.
really need it.
So,
Okay. Alrighty.
So we add a fate. Is that our thing?
yes. No, wait, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing
You had 2
happens, yeah.
successes. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the failures.
Oh, whoops. So assign labor and resources from your pool to a particular building. If all spaces are complete, let me know. And I did.
Yes.
I grabbed. Yep, very good. There's no reason not to put everything there. I grabbed the tech cards, so
Oh,
I'll be able
nice.
to give them to you. Say, which of the following statements best describe why Qin Shi Huang's empire declined and fell? A, he was too weak of an emperor. B, he was too tyrannical and exhausted the Chinese people with his construction projects, such as the Great Wall. Very glad you're not building that. He embraced Buddhism and embraced nonviolence, or he died without any children, meaning that his dynasty could not hold together.
What were you thinking?
Based on what Dr. Rausch said, I was thinking B.
Okay.
But also that could have just been like a
silly
silly little.
I would never. Never. Historians never get distracted.
See, but is that sarcasm or not?
Now I don't know.
Metagaming.
Now I feel double silly. I don't know.
Metagaming educational games.
Yeah, we can do B if you want. It's fine.
I really don't know.
I was thinking D, but let's do B.
B is correct.
Good
B is
job,
correct.
Cassie.
Yeah, it's the Qin Emperor. Alrighty. So add a labor and resource counter to your pool. And then draw a card and follow its instructions.
Do you want to draw a card this time?
Sure.
For our teachers listening, usually I like to tell people and then let them do those 2 steps and say, and then wait, and then stop.
The comet. People are amazed when you predict a comet. Add 1 awe counter.
Heck yeah.
So you can see which way your rule is going. Oh no, I have bad news for you. You had a bad official, right? And that was one of the problems in China. Is how do you find good officials? Well, you had a bad official. He was so corrupt that it led to a peasant rebellion.
How did you pass the test?
So now you made a fear check in your attempt to crush the rebels. So again, you roll 1d6 for each fear counter in your fear pool.
See, this is
It's the same as what we had before. It's just a different stat.
Yeah, see, that's why we needed to save our fate.
Okay, so if you had at least 4 successes, right, your attention is enough to intimidate the rebels and to immediately surrendering, add 1 fear counter. If you had 3 successes, a minor show of force is enough to end the rebellion, add 1 fate counter. If you had 2 successes, you put down the rebellion at little cost, nothing changes. If you had 1 or fewer, you only put down the rebellion with great difficulties, you're criticized for your weakness. Remove 1 fear counter from your fear pool.
So let's definitely spend 1 fate
One,
just to get
just
to
to
where
get
nothing
2.
happens. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
So you're assigned your resources and labor, and if you finish a building project, let me know.
We finished our Terracotta Warriors.
Excellent. So let me give you the Terracotta Warriors card.
I think we should probably do the Great Wall next because we're already very awesome.
That excellent plan. I approve. And did you give yourself? Don't forget to give yourself the bonus. You get the counters
For what?
for completing the project.
Oh, right,
Oh,
you're
yes.
so
It was 1 all and 1 fear.
Very good. Alrighty. Okay, question. Who was Li Bai? A philosopher who advocated Confucianism over Buddhism,
right. I know this one.
a philosopher who advocated Buddhism over Confucianism, a poet who loved to drink with the moon, or a poet who celebrated the importance of diligence and hard work.
C.
Do you agree, Cassie?
Sure. He was confident.
You are correct. One of my
Perfect.
favorites. People
I
remember.
remember him.
No one forgets Levi. No one forgets Levi. I want to say, do any poets do that? And then I think of the Puritans. And I'm like, yeah, they totally did. Okay, add a labor and resource counter to your pools. Okay, then draw a card and follow its instructions.
A bumper crop. Heaven has blessed your people with an abundant harvest. Add 1 resource counter.
Nice. Because now you've got it's even, right? That puts you basically a whole turn ahead. Okay, so now you have a choice. What do you do with the rebels? Do you execute their leaders or spare them? On one side, they're rebels. On the other side, you know that they were driven to it by a bad official. So you have to make a decision of what you want to do.
I think if we spare them, people are going to be like, wow, you're so great.
Okay.
Aw.
I also wanted to spare them.
You want to spare, so you have an agreement. You want to spare them. Excellent. Very good. You chose to spare them. Make an awe check. If you had chosen to execute them, you'd make a fear check.
Well, good, because we have way more awe. I mean, that's 5.
Yeah.
So,
It looks like it was not a particularly awesome roll.
It was
No, it
not
was
a particularly awesome roll. I'm gonna start making Eli roll all of them.
All right, so if you have at least 4 successes, you gain either a fear or awe counter, depending on how well you did. If you had 3 successes, you get the message across you were trying to send, you gain a fate counter. If you have 2 successes, results are mixed and nothing happens. If you have 1 or fewer successes, your attempt to instill fear is seen as mere cruelty, your attempt to show mercy is seen as weakness. Remove either a fear or awe counter, depending on what you did. So you've got 3, so you can take a fate counter or spend a fate counter, in which case you would increase your awe.
we took a fake counter.
Okay, you took the fate counter. Okay. All right, now you can assign labor and resources from your pool. Well, if you get a good draw, next time you can finish early as a great work. Okay, which statement best describes what Qin Shi Huang's family life was like? A, he didn't have one because he was working all the time. B, it was very happy as his father and mother followed Confucianism and so treated him with benevolence. C, dangerous as his own mom tried to kill him so she could put his half-brother on the throne. Or D, dangerous because he was an orphan and therefore had no protectors.
Pretty sure it's C.
That sounds the most familiar.
You are correct. Everyone remembers that. You don't forget the
I was just saying
guy
that just sounds so.
whose own mom tries to kill him.
And then she moved in, like, is that the same lady who moved and had like a boat that people burnt down? Vague remembering.
Oh, I think that's, you're thinking of Nero and his mom Agrippina, because he kept trying to kill his mom and kept failing. And then I think they finally just stabbed her or something. But yeah, he tried to have her boat sink, and he tried to have a ceiling collapse on her. It was like Wile E. Coyote stuff that kept failing. And it was finally like, just stabby. That's how you deal with your problems. You know, that's Nero. He also killed his wife too, Agrippina, if I recall correctly. So yeah, Nero was not a nice one. Okay, add 1 labor and 1 resource counter to their pools. And I just want to go back to this question. I wonder, B, I mean, if you want a metagame, what historian ever talks about a ruler that has like a happy childhood that they just, everyone got along? It just doesn't happen. Okay, draw a card and follow its instructions.
Public intoxication. You drink too much and behave badly. Remove 1 awe counter.
Man.
Oh, you were so hard for that.
We
And
did
just
work
one
on
night
that.
of drinking, you know,
Was it worth it?
you were hanging around Levi.
Drinking and talking to them.
Oh no, more danger. This time not from without, but from within. A palace coup. One of your high officials betrays you and launches a palace coup. Do you try and shame the officials into supporting you by reminding them of the grace you have shown them, in which case you would make an awe check? Or do you crush the rebellion, rely on your royal guard, make a fear check?
We have more awe. So we have a better chance of making an awe check.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Oh wait, I actually got 2 successes that time. I won't be too mad.
Alrighty, so you got 3 successes, so I'm not going to read through them all because I think people get the general idea. If you have at least 3 successes, you put down the coup, but reactions among officials are mixed and nothing happens. If you would have had 4 successes, people would have got the message you're trying to send, you would gain a fate counter. If you had 5 successes, the officials would either become more loyal to you or more terrified, and you would either gain an awe or the fear. So are you content with your 3 successes, or do you want to
We
spend?
have so much faith that we could just
We could.
just spend 2 and get
You gonna do that?
yeah, sure.
Alrighty, so you gain an awe counter, which replaces you reformed after that drinking vow.
We
so-
did. We did.
So that's good. So please assign your labor, and
We have finished
you
the
have
Great
finished
Wall.
you finished the Great Wall. And again, this is Annie's calligraphy. You did not mind.
Yeah.
So you get your 2 fear counters. That's excellent. All right. Oops. So what problem did the Zhou dynasty have that Qin Shi Huang had to solve? And what was Qin Shi Huang's solution to the problem? A, it had been devastated by disease, so he had to develop Chinese medicine. B, it had been devastated by war, so he had to rebuild the economy. C, it had been weakened by corruption, so he had to develop a court system that all would see as just and fair. Or D, it had been weakened by the nobles having their own military power, so he had developed a political system in which his officials were too weak to challenge him.
I think it's D, but could be C. What do you think?
Let's go D.
Okay.
That's where my heart was too.
Your heart was correct,
I
right?
should really start trusting myself more.
Yeah, no, that's why I always tell these students,
Go with
your
your
first
gut.
instinct is often correct. Don't change your answer unless you can think of a good reason. If you feel anything, just ignore it. Okay, add your labor and resources. And then draw a card and follow its instructions.
The people suffer. You fail to protect your people from bandits. Remove 1 fear counter.
Ooh, no.
The Great Wall was not functioning properly.
Right after we finished the Great Wall too.
Alright, let's see. So assign your labor. Okay, so here's the final test. Right, this is the big one, right? I'm sorry you've died, but that's not what's important, right? What's important is, does your dynasty survive? And the question is, did you build a dynasty that your son is going to be able to continue to rule, or is he going to lose his throne? So please make an awe check. And you're looking for 6 successes.
We get one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have any successes
We
in
have
there?
1 success.
Perfect.
We can make it into.
Okay, it's barely.
We have 5 fate, and we're spending all of them.
Alrighty. Yeah, if you had at least 6 successes, you left to your son officials who believe your family has the mandate of heaven, cementing the survival of your dynasty for a long time to come. However, there are some people who just want power for themselves. So now you need to make a fear check,
Oh no.
aiming for 6 successes.
No!
No!
It's literally
So
impossible.
it is impossible, right? Unfortunately, the structure
We really jumped the gun.
of your
Well, we
dynasty.
couldn't have done it because we only have 5.
True.
So-
Right, no, you played it right. You played it right. So yeah, unfortunately, I am sorry. The officials, our power-hungry officials, overthrow your son shortly after your death, ending your dynasty.
Man, what was it? for you?
Wow, we worked so hard.
Right. Well, it's interesting too, because if you were going to do this as like a reflection paper, how would you, thinking back to the events that happened, how could you explain your fall?
I mean, we built the Great Wall before we built the Altar of Heaven, and we built the Terracotta Warriors. I guess we didn't do very many fear checks to gain extra fear, but that's because we always had more awe.
Mhm.
So it felt like the right decision.
Yeah, we really played into the awe
Yeah.
rather than
Right.
the fear.
Well, what happened? Because you technically, okay, you rolled, you just had bad luck on that awe
Sure,
check.
we did.
But if you had faith, you could have still made the fear check, except for what happened. What was like the last card you drew?
Oh, we lost fear.
Oh, because of the
They
bandit.
had the
Yes.
bandits happen.
So it was like, it's just at the end of your reign, you built the Great Wall, which was a good idea, but something went wrong. And it just,
Historical
it
contingency.
didn't work out. It was just, yeah, historical contingency, exactly. It was just that bad luck.